Dead bumblebees discovered dead in a Beaverton neighborhood, and new state rules regulating pesticides were put in place to prevent cases like this. We asked the question, how did this happen? And we're getting answers. Those bees were discovered over the weekend.
That's right. Really disturbing to a lot of people. They were found in a neighborhood right there in the area of 185th and Farmington in Washington County. And Lisa Balick spent the day out there investigating. So Lisa, a Coin 6 viewer called us to get some answers on this.
Yes, absolutely. And we headed right over there today and brought along some experts to figure out if the bees were poisoned by a chemical that's banned for use on the trees found there.
It affects the nerves so that they can't move their muscles, they can't breathe, and then they just go into a shock like this and then eventually just die.
I called the Xerces Society, the bee conservation group, to first take a look with us at hundreds of dead bumblebees underneath about 25 flowering linden trees in this Beaverton neighborhood. They told us often linden trees are sprayed to get rid of aphids.
And so a lot of people get upset because this sugar water, these aphids secrete this sugar water and it lands on your cars and things like that. It's really easy to rinse off.
But even if the trees were sprayed with certain pesticides months ago, before they were in bloom, a bee-killing chemical could remain in the flowers and pollen.
It's very much an overreaction to come through and spray an entire tree like this that's potentially feeding dozens of bumblebee nests and honeybee hives in the neighborhood.
I called the company the Homeowners Association tells me handles the tree spraying to try and get some answers. Lisa Balick from Channel 6 calling. So I called the state agriculture department to try and get some answers. A pesticide investigator came out to start taking samples of the dead bees, flowers, and leaves from the trees to determine how the bees died. How did you find out about this?
We heard about it from a reporter from Coin 6 called our staff at the office.
Just last year, 50,000 bees died in a Wilsonville parking lot from a pesticide used on linden trees there. The state then restricted the use of that pesticide, part of a group of insecticides called neonicotinoids, some with the brand name Safari. Is there any reason why somebody would still be using it?
That's a good question. I don't know why somebody would necessarily still be using it after the restriction that we placed.
Now, the state is investigating on this, trying to find out if that pesticide was indeed used, and also they have to wait for the test to come back from the bees, from the trees, and from the leaves and flowers on the trees to find out if indeed that was the cause for sure.
And I know you're in contact with everybody, with state officials, and I know you tried calling the company. When do you think you'll get an answer on this?
The state says it will have results probably towards the end of next week. Okay. So we'll be checking back with them, and we are pursuing it with the company as well. Don't want to get too into that until we have some actual facts from them to report as to exactly what happened.
Sure. Okay. Well, believe me, everyone, Lisa will get those answers for us.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Lisa.